Have you ever tuned your radio to a frequency that shouldn't exist? Most of us just hear static between the stations, a white noise that fades into the background of a late-night drive. But there are those who have found something else, a hidden signal at the very edge of the FM band, a place where the air feels heavy and the static sounds like whispering. They call it the voice of tomorrow, a cursed broadcast that doesn't play music, but instead narrates the future with chilling mathematical precision. It starts out innocently enough. You might hear the winning lottery numbers for a drawing that hasn't happened yet, or a weather report for a storm that's still 100 miles away. But the deeper you go, the darker the signal becomes. In the late 90s, a trucker in Nevada reported hearing a detailed news bulletin about a bridge collapse on the I-15. He looked at his watch. The report said the bridge fell at 4:12 a.m. It was currently 4:05 a.m. He pulled over, shaking, and watched as the lights of the cars ahead of him vanished into the darkness exactly 7 minutes later. He tried to call the police, but his phone only emitted the same rhythmic static as the radio. That's the thing about these broadcasts. They don't just predict the future, they lock it in. It's as if the moment the words are spoken into the void, reality has no choice but to follow. Some theorists believe the station is a leak from a parallel dimension where time moves faster. Others believe it's something much more malevolent, a cosmic predator that uses the radio waves to lure victims into a state of total despair. Let me tell you about the case of Sarah Jenkins, a night shift nurse who found the frequency in 2012. She was driving home at 4 a.m. when the signal cut through her local pop station. The voice was cold, almost metallic. It started listing names and times of death for patients in her own hospital, names of people she had just checked on, people who were stable when she left. One by one, the voice recited their final moments. She rushed back to the hospital, terrified, only to find the wards in chaos. Every single person the radio mentioned had passed away at the exact second the voice predicted, but the broadcast wasn't done. As she sat in the break room, trembling, the radio on the counter crackled to life. It said, Sarah Jenkins, time of death, 5:15. AM, cause, cardiac arrest brought on by sheer terror. She looked at the clock. It was 5:10. She was a healthy woman in her 20s, but as the minutes ticked by, her chest began to tighten. The radio began to count down, 5, 4, 3. They found her body on the floor, the radio still hissing with static, though it wasn't plugged into any outlet. This is the power of the cursed broadcast. It doesn't just observe time, it dictates it. Imagine sitting in your living room, the radio glowing dimly in the corner. The voice, which sounded like a news anchor at first, begins to drop its professional tone. It says your name. It tells you that at 2:45 a.m. your front door will click open. It tells you that the shadow moving across your hallway isn't a trick of the light. You try to turn it off, but the knob breaks in your hand. You try to unplug it, but the voice keeps coming, louder now, vibrating in your very bones. It describes the way your heart is racing, the way your palms are sweating, and the way you're looking at the kitchen knife on the counter. It knows your every move because it's already seen how your story ends. There are transcripts recovered from abandoned houses where the radio was still playing to an empty room. One transcript describes a woman who tried to flee her house after hearing a broadcast about a fatal fire. The radio narrated her escape step by step, right until she ran into the arms of the very person the broadcast said would be waiting for her in the woods. There is no escaping the frequency once it finds you. It's a closed loop, a temporal trap that feeds on the inevitability of fate. Even now, as you listen to this, are you sure that sound in the background is just the wind? Are you sure that static on your TV is just a lost signal? Some say that if you scan the dial long enough, you'll eventually hear a voice that sounds exactly like your own, screaming for help from a day that hasn't happened yet. If you ever find that station, don't listen. Don't let the words settle in your mind, because once you know how it ends, you've already lost the power to change it. Have you ever had a premonition that came true, or heard something on the radio that felt impossible? Share your encounters in the comments below. If you want to stay updated on the world's most terrifying urban legends and paranormal mysteries, Make sure to follow and hit that like button. Stay safe, stay alert, and whatever you do, don't go searching for the frequency at the end of the dial. Some things are better left unheard.